I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. In 2001, national-level NASCAR racing returned to Nashville when the 1.3-mile Nashville Super Speedway opened and played host to the Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series for the first time. Over its first decade, the track became a staple of the schedule for both series, expanding each to 2 events, while also adding IndyCar racing for the first 8 years of its existence. However, without a NASCAR Cup Series date on its calendar, 2011 proved to be the track's final season, and it would shut down after choosing not to seek NASCAR sanction for 2012. How times have changed. In June of 2020, NASCAR awarded Nashville Super Speedway a Cup Series date, effectively bringing the track back to life. For the first time, it hosted all 3 national NASCAR series in June of 21. Like Dover Motor Speedway, Nashville features a concrete racing surface that presents a unique challenge to many real-world racing stars who will take on for the first time. Tonight, it's race number 11, the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nashville Super Speedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. The IROC Challenge Series, round number 11. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 80-degree track temperature, actually ambient temperature, 57% humidity, clear skies, almost no breeze at 2 miles an hour. Track temperature, 83 degrees, hanging on to a little bit of residual temperatures here. Let's get down trackside. Qualifying is already complete. Final warm-up session in the works right now. Just about a few minutes left in that session. Fastest thus far. It's a 4 Jaden Hopp, $29.99 on sale. Only driver below 30 seconds in this session. Take a look at the practice results from earlier on. Aaron Smith was fastest at 29.850. Neil Quick, Brandon Mefford, Jaden Hopp, Mike Cook, the top 5. Again, that was practice earlier on this evening. This is the post-qualifying warm-up session. 2 minutes left in this session, roughly. And it was Mike McDonald, Josh Funkhauser, Timmy Schofield, John Osborne, Jason Nilgis was your top 10. Chris Wally, Brian McCann, Stan Carnathan, Trevor Quick, Rick Kelly, Jeff No, Doug Wysocki, Larry Bruner. 19th quick was William Tyndall. 20th, Josh Braley. That makes up, looks like your 20-car field here tonight. IROC Challenge Series, again running the Gen 4 Cup car here this season. I want to make a special note, speaking of the Gen 4 Cup car, the Noble Racing Series making its return here back Sunday nights this coming weekend here at HBR TV. Season will be consisting with the Gen 4 Cup car as well. So hoping to see many of these IROC Challenge Series drivers come on over and try their hand at Noble as well. We've had some drivers already sign up. Brian McCann, Kevin McCann, I believe both of those drivers coming over. Neil Quick as well. See some guys having some issues getting out of pit lane, driving down on the flat. Certainly not as much grip down there. Just like that in the warm-up, 10 seconds away from its conclusion, and we'll get into our starting lineup, and then very quickly one lap of caution and then a green flag of the race. Again, we had it early on here, the race details for tonight. We had it as 150 laps. It's actually 120 laps, so a little bit shorter than we had anticipated, so that's a plus. 30 extra laps for no reason. Nobody wants to do that. Longer races means you don't get aggressive until late. With that said, though, let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight's race. Number 11 from Nashville Super Speedway on the pole position with a lap time of 29.855 seconds. It is the 4 of Jaden Hopp. Out qualifying very fast, number 70 of Aaron Smith. Missed it by about a tenth and a half. Row number 2, it's Neil Quick and Mike Cook. Starting 5th, Trevor Quick, Brandon Mefford in 6th. Starting in the 7th spot, John Osborne, Rick Kelly starting 8th. 9th starter is going to be Michael McDonald in the number 16 out of Michigan. Timmy Schofield starts 10th with Stan Carnathan rolling from the 11th spot. Brian McCann starting 12th. He said it last week, folks. This is not his favorite place. We'll see if he can work his way through and maybe learn something tonight before this one's over. He can improve his starting position and make it a better finishing position for the 3 of Brian McCann. Jason Nile, just the 88, starts 13th. Larry Bruner rolling from the 14th spot. William Tyndall, the number 16, he starts 62. Chris Wally, the 51, starts 16th. Jeff No, the 55, he'll start 17th. 18th starter is Doug Wysocki. 81, Josh Funkhauser, he'll start 19th. And then last on the field, shotgun starting position, it's Josh Braley, the number 28, starting 20th. Just starting grid here from Nashville Super Speedway. The IROC Challenge Series going green here the next time by. Pace car pulls down to pit lane. Wait for Barney to start waving that green flag. They're in the restart zone. Green flag in the air. We're racing from Nashville Super Speedway. And we got a caution early here. Car spinning off of turn number 2. Looks like it might be Jason Nilgis. Indeed it is. He is slow on the backstretch. Looks to be getting into turn 3 at the moment. Just a couple of cars getting a little squirrely out of turn number 2. Trying to get a replay on this here in just a minute. Three wide out of 2 at the start. Yeah, big impact here. McDonald and Nilgis. Again, you see some guys scrambling down to the inside to get to the grass. Stay out of this one. This comes up and contact made early on. An opening lap and trouble down the back straightaway. Some drivers hitting pit lane already, not those ones involved in the incident. Of course, McDonald and Nilgis involved in the caution itself, but Chris Wally, Doug Wysocki, I don't believe they were a part of that incident. They may be coming down pit lane here just for some fuel. Certainly not taking tires here after only half a lap of green. So topping off the tanks for the 51. Doug Wysocki, likely the same story. Very short stop for the 34 and the 51. Get McDonald and Nilgis, they're going to be there a little while fixing some damage on those machines. So we'll line them up and we'll try it again here. Still not a full lap under the green flag just yet. Again, caution coming out off turn number 2. Beginning of lap number 1 here in Nashville Super Speedway. Again, these Gen 4 Cup cars, if you're not familiar with them, it's a throwback. I mean, it's the early 2000s NASCAR Cup Series race car. Effectively, it's an ARCA body as we know it today. A little backstory on this car. Of course, iRacing had the ARCA car for quite some time in the service. And during one of the updates, they call it a mistake. It was an accident. They accidentally, quote unquote, added somewhere in the realm of 850 horsepower to these cars. And they didn't realize they did it, and all of a sudden guys were driving the ARCA car and like, whoa, where did all this power come from? Well, in essence, whether they were working on it intentionally in the background and they released it a little premature, ultimately everybody loved it and said, bring it back, make sure we have this. We still want the ARCA car, that's got its place as well. But man, this Gen 4 Cup car, it is a handful. Again, a ton of power. Nice and sleek. Really, really, really have to drive these cars. And Most places, you got to be really smart about taking care of the tires. That's the most important part of it. That's why you see guys like Brian McCann and Aaron Smith be so successful here in this series. Aaron Smith with 6 wins on the season already. We're only 11 races in. He's got 6 wins. Guy's good at saving tires, taking care of his stuff, staying out of trouble. With that, though, you see it. The iRacing official pace car lights are off. So green flag racing the next time by. Let's see if we can get this one done here with no issues off of turn number 2. Get more than a lap in under the green flag. Try it again. It's all we can do.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Up to speed we go. First lap in the books, Jaden Hopp out to a 3/4 second advantage over the 70 of Aaron Smith. During that caution, we talked about tire conservation, taking care of your stuff. I just have to wonder, is Jaden Hopp loving this time out in front? I'm sure he is, but I got to wonder about the pace he's setting down already here. He's out to almost a full second over Aaron Smith, and I just have to assume that everybody behind the race leader right now is taking care of their stuff. Again, to delve into some more race details tonight, 65% race fuel maximum capacity, 2 sets of tires available over the wall, 3 if you count the one on the car already, so 3 sets to get them to the finish. Take a set at lap 40 and lap 80. Say you're good to go. Now, is that the best strategy? Well, maybe, maybe not. How it plays out. Hop way out in front here, 1.1 seconds. Back to Aaron Smith. Neil Quick running in 3rd. Mike Cook in the 4th spot. 5th, Brandon Mefford. Mefford up 1 position from qualifying. Tim Schofield, the number 12 machine, running in the 6th spot. Timmy's up 4 spots already. Other notables, Brian McCann running in 8th. Remember, he started 12th, so he's already working his way forward. McCann running the number 7 here tonight. He's going to show as the number 3 in the timing tower, as that's his typical paint scheme. I don't know if he just forgot to load in the right one or what the case may be. I can actually try and refresh the paints just to be on the safe side and make sure it's not on my end. So all these cars are going to turn white here in a minute, but that's all right. So catching up in the stream chat. Looks like we're already busy, so that's a plus. We have Ken Couch. Says, hey, Steve, looking forward to another great broadcast. I really kind of like Nashville Super Speedway. I like it, too. I just don't like racing on it because I'm not that good. We got Lindsay MW, let's go. Short and sweet. And then Lindsay goes again. Jaden knows how to pace himself, establish a good lead, enjoy that clean air, and take it easy. I think if I remember correctly, Lindsay is Jaden's mom. Always love having the parents and the family members in the stream chat. It's a plus. And there it is. Brian McCann's paint scheme updating properly. Glad we got that worked out. I hate doing it mid-broadcast, but I'd rather get it right than have to worry about him having the wrong colors on his car all race long. So Brian McCann now up into P6. Passed half the cars he qualified behind. Started 12th. Working his way through the field here. Meanwhile, Jaden Hopp. I don't know, Lindsay, you said he can pace himself, but he's got 2 seconds on Aaron Smith. And I'm not picking on Jaden. He's shown a lot of pace this season, but Aaron is lightning fast almost everywhere we go. If you dump 2 seconds on Aaron Smith, you are pushing hard. Just my opinion. I do race too. I'm not as good as some of these guys, but not as good as a lot of these guys. Put me on a road course, I can hold my own. Jaden Hopp losing connection there for a moment. We saw some sparks flying off the right side of that car. He was very close to the outside safer barrier. Given the connection issue after the fact, I don't know if that was strictly just net code that we saw or if he was actually in the wall. Either way, it isn't slowing him up here as he continues to build this lead over the 70 of Aaron Smith. See how far back he is now in that second position. Neil Quick running in third. He's about 7/10 off the back bumper Aaron Smith in the third spot. Mike Cook fourth. A couple of car lengths off the two. Then Brandon Mefford, a handful of car lengths off of Mike Cook in fifth. Ryan McCann, no challengers for him. Timmy Schofield in seventh. Battle for position behind him. Rick Kelly, Stan Carnathan going at it. Actually, Rick Kelly in the 62 of William Tyndall. Tyndall takes the spot, move him up into the 8th position. Connection issue for Schofield for just a moment as well. Tyndall making a move to the inside on Schofield as Timmy's up the racetrack and that number 12. Man, every time I see that paint scheme from a distance, all I think about is Ryan Newman. It's even the right number font. Throw Alltel on the side of it, it's a done deal. Even the colors are right. So Lindsay letting out some secrets here. She's like, oh, he'll make it work. Him and Aaron are buddies. They usually work together. Oh, we know that. Ken Couch, another driver out there, says this track will eat up tires for sure. Doesn't matter which car or truck you're racing. Concrete surface, high speed. Yeah, it's going to shred rubber. See how it goes. Wish nothing but the best for Jaden Hopp. Be great to see him get a win. Schofield still trying to maintain his position and not give it up to the 62. That middle to upper lane really paying off for Tim right now. Off turn number 4, he's got a bit of a run. Tyndall probably could have come up to block that run. Stays in his lane. Meanwhile, Hop out 2.6 seconds over Aaron Smith. Stan Carnathan back in the 11th spot, right where he started. Trevor Quick running in the 12th position. He's lost 7 spots since the start of this race. Not sure if he was close to that first caution. Lindsay says definitely not a secret. They've raced together for quite a while now. Well, it's good that Aaron Smith is tutoring somebody out there because he can't have all the fun. Just like that, 20 laps in, here from Nashville Super Speedway, 101 left to go. Still watching this battle between Schofield and Tyndall, the 12 and the 62. Schofield in the 12. Schofield looking high again, not enough of a run to get alongside down the back. Schofield's trying to make a run here to the outside and make it work. I just don't know if he's got the pace, at least for the time being. He's starting to lose a little bit of ground to Tyndall. With all that, Rick Kelly there is just stalking the 12, waiting for a mistake out of him. But the small mistake out of Tyndall. A little bit of a bobble for the 62 in the middle of 3 and 4. Thought 12 was going to capitalize for a moment. spread out this field has gotten already since the restart. Place certainly separates the men from the boys. Jaden Hops got this thing set on kill. 3 seconds the advantage over Aaron Smith. 24 laps in. Got a 65% fuel load here tonight. That's maximum capacity. Curious how far they can go on a full tank of fuel. And don't forget, we did start this race with another caution, so that's going to extend that range a little bit. I guess the question will be how long before we start seeing Aaron Smith reel him back in. It almost looks like it's beginning to happen right now. 2.7, 2.6, 3.5 tenths cut into that lead in just the last one lap. Lindsay, I know you say he's good at setting the pace, but it looks like he might have got those tires a little too hot in comparison to his buddy Aaron Smith. Aaron's starting to chew into that gap. Again, it's early. Race won't end here in the next handful of laps. We've got a lot of strategy to play with, but I think Hop just might be out there seeing what he's capable of, and so far, he's definitely got a lot of pace. McCann still running in that 6th position. Started 12th. Picked up a bunch of spots early on. It's not really closing in on Brandon Mefford terribly quick at the moment. Deficit back to Mefford. Just 3/4 of a second. Get him into the top 5 if McCann can get there. Rick Kelly running back in the 10th spot. Remember, he was real close to Tim Schofield. Now Funkhauser's taking the spot away. Josh, the biggest mover so far. He started 19th, just now cracking into the top 10. Funkhauser, the number 81, just ahead of Rick Kelly. And those of you looking at the timing tower, at the bottom of the tower, you'll see that it stops at 17. Our apologies for that. A little bit of a glitch here with the timing tower. Not displaying the running positions for 18, 19, and 20. That is Braley, Nilgis, and McDonald. McDonald, 5 laps down here. He certainly spent a lot more time in pit lane trying to get that car repaired. Nilgis only lost 1 lap, so if we get another caution here, he's going to be in decent shape so long as nobody else goes a lap down in the interim. And a little refresh of the overlay where you fix the issue with the timing tower, so that's all good to go. Schofield running in the 8th position. William Tyndall in the 7th spot, just ahead. That battle continues. Schofield way up the racetrack, and the caution is on the Speedway.
Like a protein shake or a bar or anything like that?
Caution is out for the stage break here at Nashville Super Speedway. 31 now laps in. Looks like it was Jaden Hop, Aaron Smith, Neil Quick, Mike Cook, Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann, William Tyndall, Tim Schofield, Josh Funkhauser, Stan Carnathan. Might be some questions on who was 9th or 10th there. Maybe that was a closer battle, but so we got the first caution on the first lap, second caution for the stage here at lap 30 from Nashville Super Speedway. 2-stage race here. Lap 30, we get the yellow flag, then we'll get some pit stops. We'll go back green flag racing, and it should be all the way to the conclusion of this race, barring any incidents on track. Imagine everybody's going to be down pit lane here. I don't know if anybody's going to take tires in this instance. Certainly fuel. You got to get that. So every lead lap car down on pit lane. Mike McDonald's going to take the opportunity as well. Still some repairs to get done on this 16 machine. Niall just stays out. I think he's going to get his lap back here. Lindsay in the stream chat. So glad my son can't hear me since he's in Casita? I don't know what she's trying to say there, but either way, I get more pumped for these than actual NASCAR races. Well, that's good to hear. Pit stops complete up and down pit lane. I don't think anybody took tires on that first stop. Of course, Niall just a longer pit. Maybe some additional repairs for the 88. No, that was his first stop, so he hasn't pit yet. He's still out there. He may come down pit lane this time, but again, he should be back on the lead lap. With that, though, we're going to jump out, get a short break out of the way, and we'll be back with the restart after this.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Nashville Super Speedway, it looks like we're coming to the one to go. We'll see if these pace car lights go out. Indeed they do. So we're on the official one to go signal. Back racing the next time by. Lindsay clarifying the term casita, I'm probably saying it completely wrong, is the Arizona term for an extra apartment on a property. I can relate with that. We're actually in the process of building one at my parents' house for me to live in because unplanned life circumstances have come arise, and, well, this broadcaster needs a place to live, and I'd prefer not to be in Mom's basement. So we're gonna live in the apartment. We'll make it work. Casita. I'm probably still saying it wrong. Casita. No, whatever. I'll figure it out one of these days. I know what it is at least, just because I can't say it. Field working turns 3 and then 4. Pace car pulls left down pit lane. Come on, Barney, wave that green flag. There it is. A little late, but it's out. We're back racing from Nashville. Oh, big connection issue for Jaden Hopp just a moment ago. Yeah, there it is again. That's going to make Aaron Smith a little nervous. I know they're teammates, but he does not want to have an issue. Be right on board now with Aaron Smith. We've certainly talked about this a lot in iRacing throughout these broadcasts, and I know many of you have heard me talk about it. But just in case there's some newcomers out there, connection issue. Well, of course, it's probably not going to happen while we're watching now, but Jaden Hopp just disappears on the racetrack for us here watching the broadcast. But it also happens, all the drivers that are in this race, he disappears for them as well. So that can become a major issue if you ride on board here with Aaron Smith. Say he's right on the back bumper of Jaden Hopp and he disappears. Well, if Aaron Smith gets a real good run in the corner and fills that void, and all of a sudden Jaden Hopp comes back in because his connection fixed itself or the internet speed caught up or whatever the reasons are, well, he could land on top of Aaron Smith, and then you're going to have an accident. Nothing you can do about it. It's an internet. I mean, you've got 20 cars out here tonight. We're all on our own computers. We're all on our own internet service providers. You see him blink out there once again. We don't have control over that. But iRacing servers, they have to take all that data from everybody's computer, everybody else's internet service provider, kind of take all that jumble, mix it into one server, essentially, one race server, and plant all those race cars on the track at the same time in relationship with everybody else. So it's a pretty daunting task for their end. But man, you've got guys that start blinking out like that, it can become even more crazy. Lindsay says I said it right. I feel like I'm making fun of indigenous people in this country when I say it because it sounds like an Indian word, but I'm not trying to be like that. And Lindsay just turned off the Wi-Fi in the house, so hopefully that helps Jaden's situation. Back to the action. Jaden Hopp still out front, not enjoying as much of a lead as he had early on. It's less than 0.4 of a second here out of turn 4. Coming to lap 41. Just about 1/3 distance. Pit stops complete after the stage. Real quick under fire here from Brandon Mefford. I don't know if there was some contact there or not, but alongside is Mefford for the position. Thought there was going to be some contact. There may have been some contact. Either way, Mefford tucks back in behind. Mefford's got Brian McCann breathing down his neck here if he's not too careful. Maybe that's why he decided to ride behind the two for a moment. Jaden Hopp continues to lead this race, again leading from pole position. Led every lap thus far, even through the cautions. Won the race out of pit lane during the stage break. See the connection happening once again. Problems for the 4. Fingers crossed that it does not get worse. Deficit increasing slightly for Aaron Smith. Just shy of half a second up to race lead. impressive watching the Ford hang the right rear out in the wind mid-corner. Yeah, you're going to put some temperature in that right rear, but that is the way to be fast in places like this, especially in this Gen 4 Cup car. Some more battles throughout the pack. Jason Nile just taking a look inside. Jason taking the spot from Stan Carnathan. Doug Wysocki might try and follow him through. Nile just gets clear out of turn number 4. Wysocki now alongside the 82. Wysocki taking a look down low on the 88, slides up. He dove it down in there. Bit of a dive bomb, and it couldn't make it stick. The 34 slides up the track. He does check up to not get into the 88, but he is seemed to be a little bit faster here. Doug's just got to find some patience. He's going to get around here if he can just find the right place to make the pass. Doug out of Belleville, Michigan. Just scraping the right side of the safer barrier. We've seen a lot of guys do that here tonight. I was starting to think it was netcode, but it looks like the 88 actually did get into the fence. Just now back into the 18th spot. "50 laps in. Now 51. Now just running in the 18th position. Wysocki is up in a 14th. Of course, I look away from the monitor for a moment and I miss what happened with those two, so my apologies, guys, but we're trying. Just as Lindsay says, your commentary is great. Thank you. I missed the call. Back out front, though, the lead deficit starting to shrink. We're talking about car lengths now. Never mind the number on the left side of the screen. Yeah, it's a quarter second. We're talking 2, maybe 3 car lengths between the 4 and the 70. Aaron Smith starting to reel in Jaden Hopp. And now this very well could just be translating to Jaden Hopp realizing that his pace early on was a little bit too quick. Now, remember, that caution that came out at lap 30, that was the stage break. Nobody took tires that I saw up and down pit lane. So they had passive driving, the less aggressive driving out of Aaron Smith early on might be why he's starting to reel in the Ford a little bit easier here late in this run. We're almost halfway. They have yet to change tires. So again, they're going to have 2 sets over the wall to their disposal at this point whenever they choose to come take those tires. So that's entirely up to them. But man, they're really stretching it out over the rest of the field. These 2 drivers very fast here at Nashville Super Speedway. Back to P3, all sorts of action. Steele Quick, Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann, some IROC veterans here. Rounded out the top 5, but nowhere near those top 2. 54 laps in here. We're going to jump out and get an HBR TV side-by-side break hopefully before we get to some green flag pit stops. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Nashville Super Speedway, 61 laps of 120 complete, just past halfway. Jaden Hopp, Aaron Smith continuing to dominate the rest of this IROC field, but the deficit for the race leader is shrinking every single lap. We're less than 2/10, maybe a car length and a half back to Aaron Smith. Lindsay in the stream chat prior to the break made a comment that we're going to see them both pit at the same time as Aaron Smith gets a piece of the outside wall on turn 4. Do not see that happen very often. Mr. Invincible out here just got a piece of the wall. You do not see that happen. A very uncharacteristic mistake out of Aaron Smith. Jerry Krause thanking a bunch of people here in the stream chat. Says, no thanks to me, but thanks to everyone that put this on, from the platform and announcing, the setups, the booth, the drivers, giving it their all. And last but not least, all the fans. Certainly, Jerry, I can emphasize thank you to the fans. You guys showing up here every week makes this part of my job really fun to do. And again, I'm just a small part of it. They hire me to come out here and call these races. I enjoy it. The nice thing is I've been in and out working with a lot of these guys throughout the last couple of years in one form or fashion, be it on the racetrack or in the broadcast booth. So it's, you know, they say you don't want to work, find a job that you love. You'll never work a day in your life, and that's kind of what we're doing. Granted, it's not my full-time gig, but you get the point. Back to the action, lap 64, still Jaden Hopp. Well, he's clinched it, most laps led. Nobody can beat him now because we're at 64. He's led them all. There's less than that remaining, so now it's just going to come down to him being able to take the checkered flag or not. Again, Aaron Smith with 6 wins on the season. I'm not saying that he's going to let Jaden Hopp win, because Jaden was fast in practice. He was fast, obviously, in qualifying, and he's clearly fast here. We saw a mistake out of Aaron Smith just a couple of laps ago, so you know he's pushing as hard as he can. Hopp running well. Again, pit stops under the green flag here, likely to be coming soon. Aaron Smith down pit lane, not with Jaden Hopp. We kind of thought they'd come at the same time. Aaron Smith in the pits, lap 67 up on the board. So I guess the question is, does Jaden come the next time by? I'm really kind of surprised that these two weren't in communication, planning to come down together, but we'll see how it pans out. Aaron Smith likely to take tires this time. Again, 2 sets over the wall there. The right side goes up in the air, and Jaden Hopp off turn 4, dirt tracking it into pit lane. Hopefully got her locked down and slowed up enough to not get that speeding penalty. Oh boy, we'll have to watch this one. Aaron Smith down and away. He finishes his stop in 14.23 seconds. Lightning quick stop for Aaron Smith. We'll see if Jaden Hopp can come close to that. That's one of the fastest pit stops we've seen all season. Hopp in the box. 4 tires and fuel for Jaden as well. Drops the jack. Jaden Hopp 14.70. Still a good stop, but man, half a second the difference, and that's going to be the race lead here, I think, when it comes back through. Jaden Hopp exiting pit lane. Aaron Smith going to go by right now to the outside. So there it is. That's the difference. That was the absolute difference, was the faster pit stop for Aaron Smith. 14.23 to a 14.70. Just about half a second, and you see it there on the track right now. Smith running now in P3, and Jaden Hopp just over half a second back. So that was all the difference. They both got on pit lane and out of pit lane just about the same. Again, Jaden had his hands full coming into pit lane, did not get the speeding penalty, luckily for him. But Aaron Smith out in front of Jaden Hopp for the first time this afternoon as the top two leaders, John Osborne, Jeff No, have hit pit lane as well. And Aaron Smith inherits the top spot as they're still on pit lane. Lap 70, new leader. It's the 70 of Aaron Smith to the point. Now, Lindsay says, good job to Aaron and his crew. And in reality, it's more good job to Aaron in that respect because, well, the crew is the crew. They're all digital. That's one thing that I think iRacing is missing. There's got to be a way to make your pit crew better, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But a lot of it really comes down to how good your entry into the pit box is, how centered you are. I know a lot of guys have put out some various videos on YouTube and such to try and say, all right, well, this is the best way to get in. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it dead nuts in the middle? I'm not really sure. I just try to aim for the center of the box the best that I can, but Aaron Smith certainly seems to have that figured out as well. But man, Jaden Hopp not losing any ground. In fact, he's cut in a couple of tenths. Just over 0.3 of a second, the advantage for Aaron Smith right now. Jaden Hopp trying to cut back into it now, quarter a second. Off turn number 2. Curious to see how aggressive Jaden gets here. Again, this is the time to do it. You got fresh tires. If you think you're faster, you got to try and make that move now rather than try to do it later on the old wore-out tires. You're not going to force Aaron Smith to beat up his stuff. You're not going to get him on that tire strategy alone. The other side of the coin, though, is if you push too hard too early trying to take the race lead away, those first 10 laps or so on the fresh set of tires really do dictate how well they hold up throughout the course of the rest of the run. Bit of a wiggle for Jaden out of turn 2, scrapes the outside wall. If anything, he took a couple of decals off the car, nothing to worry about. Be more concerned about the loose in the center, or loose exit for the 4. And that may have a lot to do with being in the dirty air. We had someone talk about clean air early on. Aaron Smith's got all of that right now, clean air being king. This era, this Gen 4 Cup car, clean air was indeed king. Still remains true today. A big wiggle for Aaron Smith, though, on a turn 2. Now it's his turn to have a handling issue as Jaden Hopp closes in under 0.1 of a second. He is right there. So again, for the newcomers in the stream chat, let's talk about that. Aero push, dirty air, all sorts of fun things. Well, in clean air, you've got all that fresh air, not disturbed by any other cars in front of you, bearing down on the nose of your race car. So it's consistent, it's always there. The front end's going to turn when you tell it to turn. Now that's a lot of that's dependent on the tires as Jaden Hopp goes to the inside, making a move for the race lead down into turn number 3, and just like that, uncontested, Aaron Smith gives it to him. Now, I know they're teammates, I know they're buddies, and it looks like Aaron Smith just let him go, and he did, but that is got a lot of self-preservation involved in that as well. Not only, being respectful to a teammate, but there's no sense in fighting and tearing up your stuff and burning off those tires right now. Save them, save them, save them. These two guys have shown they're good at that. So that would explain the pass. Jaden had the pace. Aaron let him go as to not take care of messing up tires for both of these guys. But going back to the aerodynamics and the dirty air, talked about how important it is to have it on the nose as far as the clean air is concerned. But now in Aaron's case, he's behind Jaden Hopp. He's going to have to deal with a little bit of dirty air. So that car that's in front, well, it punches a hole effectively in the air. Basically creates a bit of a vacuum behind the race car. So the trailing car doesn't have as much air pressing on the nose of the race car. So he's got less front downforce. So it's going to be tight or understeer, meaning the nose of the race car slides up the racetrack. Problem is, if you slide out of the groove, out of the dirty air, and now all of a sudden you've got clean air on the nose when you were tight. Now all of a sudden you go from tight, which is understeer, to loose, which is oversteer. Now the back end wants to come out. So you're constantly chasing the handling on the race car based on the air that's available to you in front. So it's an interesting dynamic. It happens here certainly in these stock cars. You really see it present itself in the IndyCar side of things. They've run some races over at Indianapolis, and they can actually play with the weight jacker in those cars to adjust how loose or tight the car is in the middle of a particular corner. If you're in traffic, if you're out of traffic, it is so much more pronounced in the open wheel side than it is here on the stock car side, but it absolutely plays a part. You see, Aaron Smith could probably stay tucked up underneath the 4 here and be a lot closer than he is, but it's probably more beneficial to him aerodynamically to stay back about 5 or 6 car lengths. So he's going to maintain a distance of about 4 to 5/10 lap after lap. Then again, Jaden might just put the hammer down and really put him in the dust, so we'll see how that goes. 40 laps to go here from Nashville Super Speedway. We're going to take another break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Nashville Super Speedway, Jaden Hopkins continues to lead clearly the dominant race car here tonight. Teammate Aaron Smith running in the second spot. He led some laps too, but very quickly yielded the position to the 4. Another mover up through the field, William Tyndall in the 3rd spot, takes over that position as Brian McCann hits pit lane here for his green flag pit stop. This should get him to the end of the race. Likely to take 4 tires, certainly going to take fuel as well. See the 3. Brian McCann Racing Chevrolet into the pit box. McCann stops a little short. Now, the reason that pit stop takes a little bit longer if you're deep in the pit box or short in the pit box is the crew has to adjust to where the car is rather than going to where they expect it to be. But McCann gets down 14:65 the pit time, so that's not a bad one by any stretch of the imagination. McCann down and away. Good pit stop, 4 tires and fuel for the 3. Josh Braley in the pits. He's been there a while. I don't know if he's battling a repair issue. The car doesn't look too bad, but nevertheless, he's been there about 15 minutes or so. So I guess the question is going to remain here. Does Jaden come down pit lane before the 70? I'm probably going to mess this up, but we'll talk undercut, overcut. We've mentioned this a bunch before as well. We saw it in the last round of pit stops. Aaron Smith came down. He pit a lap before Jaden Hopp. Technically, even though it's only 1 lap, that would have been the undercut. And the reason you do that is you get down pit lane, you bolt on the fresh tires, and you can get back out there and you can turn a lap or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or however many before the fast guys come down on your fresh tires. That way, you can turn faster laps, you can gain all that track position while that other guy's out there running slower laps before he takes his new set of tires. Obviously, that guy's going to come down, he's going to get fresh tires after, but you've already taken over the top spot, track position being very important. You're still going to force that guy to pass you back later. So we'll see how it pans out. If these guys come down at the same time, or if Jaden tries to overcut, pit before the driver behind him, and get his advantage first. Now, the problem with trying to overcut, you're far enough ahead of your competitor, he can just follow you down pit lane as the 51 of Chris Wally almost gets run over by the race leaders as he's trying to get to pit lane. Lindsay says, go together, let's make this a close race. Lindsay, honestly, I think it's going to be close either way. With Aaron Smith pitting when he did, it was a lap before Jaden Hopp. He was able to make up that time through his pit stop, not so much on the tire advantage. But we still had to watch a pass for position that way, so it worked out. See what happens here. It's just some lap traffic. Tim Schofield. Now, I think Timmy made his pit stop here. Indeed, he did at lap 90, 5 laps ago, so he's on fresher rubber. If everything stays the same and we don't get a caution, everybody will cycle back on through. Schofield's going to get his lap back the old-fashioned way here on the turn number 2. Again, fresh tires on the 12, so he's going to burn by the 4 here with ease. Checking on the top 3, Neil Quick's going to pull down out of 4, and he's going to hit pit lane with 25 laps to go. We'll see if he can work this to his advantage. Again, this would effectively be an undercut to the leaders. Going to have to see how long Hopp and Smith stay on the racetrack with 3rd place Neil Quick coming down pit lane to take his pit stop. Last of the day, last set of tires over the wall, last can of gas. Going to go in the 2. Mike Cook pulls in behind Neil Quick. Going to 4-tire change for Quick. Going to be the same, I think, for Mike Cook as well. I just don't see anyone gambling on 2 tires here at this concrete racing surface at Nashville Super Speedway. So Neil's back down out of the pit stop here. He's 14.53 was the pit stop for Neil Quick. That's a fast one. Not quite Aaron Smith quick, but that's pretty fast. Looks like he gets out of there before he goes down a lap, so good timing, good strategy, good pit stop for Neil Quick. Jaden Hopp still on the racetrack here, getting through some lap traffic. Aaron Smith trying the same, and Aaron Smith, he's going to come down with Brandon Mefford as well. Almost got into the back of the 83. Lucky for Aaron Smith, his pit stop all the way down the other end of pit roads. He doesn't have to worry about Mefford being to his inside here. If he had to hit his box prior to Mefford pulling into his, he would have to check up, which is costing him some time. Nice, easy entry into the pit stall. Right side's in the air for Aaron Smith. Ooh, right sides only. Right sides only for Aaron Smith and Jaden Hopp down pit lane. Does Jaden Hopp go 2 tires or 4? You got to wonder. I know these guys are teammates, but did they talk about this? Is Aaron Smith going to try and pull a fast one here and take right sides only? Jaden Hopp, let's see what he does. Does he go 2 or 4? This could be the race winner right here. Right sides in the air for Jaden Hopp. Fuel still going in. It's going to be 4 tires. It's going to be a lengthy stop for Jaden Hopp compared to Aaron Smith. I don't know, 21 laps to go. Is he going to have enough gas in the tank? Yeah, he's got plenty of fuel, but is he going to have enough tire? And that's Aaron Smith. Left sides are old, right sides are new. 4 fresh feel goods for Jaden Hopp. But 4 extra seconds in the pit box. That is a eternity on the racetrack under green flag conditions. We'll see where Jaden cycles back through in relationship to Aaron Smith. Meanwhile, Jeff No, your race leader currently. This is kind of how things cycled through early on. No ended up with the race lead, but he still needs to make his pit stop. Aaron Smith listed in P2, 14 seconds behind the 55. Again, No needs to make a pit stop. 20 to go. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. Aaron Smith's going to inherit the top spot now that No's in the pit lane. Those of you that are wondering what's going on with the rest of the field, I'm sorry I haven't covered them tonight, but the top 2 have been the action. The top 2 have been the story, and it remains the case. Aaron Smith out in front, 3.95 seconds ahead of Jaden Hopp. Aaron Smith, he got there with a 10.55 second stop. Right sides only on his final pit stop. Jaden Hopp said, nope, I want 4 fresh tires. Bolt them on, boys. Let's go after it. His stop, 14.47, so roughly 4 seconds slower. As he stands now, he's closing in on Aaron Smith with 19 to go. 3.78 seconds the advantage. My, oh my, oh my. We got that S4 guy in the chat. Getting spicy now. Lindsay is in the stream chat just losing her mind. I know one of the former broadcasters for IROC had cameras on all the drivers. I think we need to get a camera on the moms that show up to watch these things. We'll call it the Kim Burton cam. If anybody knows what I'm even talking about, I'm probably dating myself. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, just YouTube Kim Burton NASCAR. See what comes up. Her losing her mind. Not only when Jeff Burton was running in the Cup Series, but now with Harrison out there, it's the same story. 16 laps to go. Hopp closing in. Last lap for Aaron Smith was a 30.27. Jaden Hopp about a 10th and a half quicker. I don't know. If he maintains that speed, he doesn't have enough time to catch him. That's 2.25 seconds. He's going to come up about a second short. Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those up. Unfortunately, Jaden Hopp, it's pumping him down. He's lost. Now it's only a 10th faster than Aaron Smith. Jaden Hopp for the time being in clean air. No traffic to be concerned with for the moment. Ryan McCann, considering this is a place he was not excited to go to, he's having a strong run here, hanging on to that third spot for the time being. William Tyndall in fourth. Neil Quick runs in the fifth spot. Laps to go, 2.6 seconds the advantage. Jaden Hopp, last lap, about a quarter second faster than Aaron Smith. Do the math again. At that pace, he's going to catch him. Problem is, he's got to maintain that pace. Aaron Smith into some lap traffic to 55 of Jeff Noe, who does have fresher tires than Aaron Smith. Aaron's pit stop came at lap 98. Noe's pit stop a couple of laps later. I know it doesn't sound like much, but in a place like Nashville, it does matter. Lindsay in the chat, I just have to breathe. I'm not behind that wheel. Us drivers do the same thing, especially in qualifying. At least I do. I forget to breathe. After the out lap and 2 timed laps, I take a breath and all of a sudden I get lightheaded. 11 laps to go, 2.2 seconds back to Jaden Hopp. I'll tell you this, what Aaron Smith does not want is a yellow flag. If the yellow comes out, yes, he does have left side sitting over the wall, but there's just not going to be enough time to take advantage if he does decide to hit pit lane. I think he's kind of made his bet. He's going to have to sleep in it. 2.1 seconds now to Hopp, 2.09 in closing. Still a tenth and a half faster that lap. I just don't know if there's enough time left. Jaden Hopp, as we ride on board, he's got one car between himself and Aaron Smith. It's a lap car. It may be the 5 of Trevor Quick. Deficit with 9 to go, 1.9 seconds. Really impressive watching that right turn into the wheel on the corner exit, just trying to get it, keep it straight. Gen 4 cars are a handful. Now it's the 81. That's Josh Funkhauser. Let's see if Josh gives way and lets Hopp go on around. Funkhauser with about a lap or 2 older tires than Jaden Hopp. Second and a half the differential now from first to second. Funkhauser up the racetrack, opens the door for the 4. I don't know, if Jaden gets there, it's going to be on the final lap. It's going to be close. 0.3 faster that lap. It's going to be real close. If he continues a 0.3 advantage, it'd be 1.8 seconds. It would put him a half second ahead of Aaron Smith at the stripe. But catching him is one thing. Making that pass is another. I know he's hungry for this race win, and I know Aaron Smith doesn't want to do him dirty. But Aaron Smith's a racer too. I don't think he's going to let him go. 6 laps to go. 1.2 seconds. The deficit for Jaden Hopp as he continues to close in on Aaron Smith. .08, 1.10. Gained a ton of ground through 1 and 2. 4 laps to go. The deficit less than a second. 8 tenths back to Jaden Hopp. It was a quarter second faster that last lap than Aaron Smith. Aaron trying to hang on for win number 7. Jaden Hopp trying to steal one from the teammate. It's a nail biter. It's going to come right down to the checkered flag, I think. Coming to 3 laps to go. It's 7 tenths of a second. A 30.95 for Aaron Smith. A 30.75 for Jaden Hopp. 6 tenths of a second the advantage as they work on a turn number 2. The 12 of Tim Schofield. A lap car in the mix. Aaron Smith trying to get through, trying to make the pass on Schofield. Schofield not going to go quietly with that number 12. They thought he'd be like Ryan Newman and hard to pass, but the deficit of 2 to go. It's half a second. Hopp's going to have to make the pass on the 12 as well. Schofield in the mix here with the race leaders. Aaron Smith into turns 3 and 4. Going to look for the white flag out of 4. Hopp to the bottom. I don't know if he's going to have enough here. It's 4.5 tenths. Final lap from Nashville Super Speedway. Hopp running qualifying laps from the pit stop all the way to the finish. It just might come up a little bit short. Down the backstretch for the final time. Aaron Smith started outside front row. It was a dominating performance from Jaden Hopp. He led the most laps. He won the pole position, but out of turn number 4, teammate Aaron Smith's going to win the race by a narrow margin of 3 tenths back to Jaden Hopp. Aaron Smith takes the checkered flag. Top 3, Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, and William Tyndall coming home in 3rd. Two or 3 more laps, I think, is all it would have taken. Jaden Hopp would have had the 70. Aaron Smith putting him up on the dash with right sides only on the final stop. Tough loss for the 4, I'm sure, but strong run either way. IROC Challenge Series certainly knows that the 4 is here to contend. Aaron Smith, well, he's just an alien. Aaron Smith wrapping up his burnout already here on the front stretch. We're going to step aside, get a break out of the way, take a deep breath. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Nashville Super Speedway, the IROC Challenge Series race number 11 now in the books. Aaron Smith taking home a incredible 7th race win of the season. Let's pull the driver, the number 70, up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our race winner. Aaron Smith, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Aaron, congratulations on a impressive race win. You and Jaden Hopp, just the class of the field here tonight. You opted for 2 tires on that final pit stop. It got you a 4-second faster pit stop, which gave you a 4-second advantage over a very fast, number 4 in Jaden Hopp. He closed the gap, got close, but it wasn't quite enough. What was the game plan? Did you guys even talk about it, or was every man for himself there at the end?
Yeah, I knew that if I'd kept things as they were, it'd be faster than me, and he'd get by me again, regardless of how good of a pit stop I got and how good of an exit I got out of turn 2. So I figured I'd take the last-ditch effort and take a strategy call that fortunately won me the race, but 2 more laps it wouldn't have.
That's kind of what we were thinking there at the end. A couple of more laps is really all that Jaden needed, but it didn't come to fruition. We didn't get that caution late, which certainly would have bit you as well. But it's race win number 7. How many are you going to get here this year? This is the first race of, they call it the bracket challenge. I kind of look at it like the playoffs, but you got some races left. Obviously, we go to Michigan next week. You got a shot there as well?
Yeah, I ran pretty well there in UFO last week. If it's anything like that, I think it'll be a solid race. If we can keep it as clean as we kept it tonight, it'll certainly be one to behold. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you again next week.
Well, tonight certainly was an awesome race to watch. I know everybody's favorite tonight was Jaden Hopp. We like seeing you win too, but you've got a bunch of these here this year, so we were really pulling for Jaden there at the end. Either way, man, it was good to see. Congratulations on the race win. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
As always, I'd like to thank all the folks at IROC for putting these shows on, you for broadcasting, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it in Michigan next week.
All right, Aaron. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. We wish you the best of luck next week in Michigan.
All right, thank you.
It's Aaron Smith, your race winner here from Nashville Super Speedway. He's in this interview room so often. He's just got a stamp for how he gets these things done. Even his interviews are quick. We'll go to Jaden Hopp, though. This one may be a disappointing conversation for the driver of the number 4. Jaden Hopp, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Jaden, tough break here tonight. You put the car in the pole position, a dominant performance. You led the most laps. That last pit stop, it came down between you and I think it's teammate Aaron Smith. He took right sides only. You opted for 4. It was about a 4-second differential in the pits and then a 4-second differential on the track. You had about 20 or so laps to make it up. You got close. What was the difference at the end? Was it lap traffic or just running out of laps or a combination of the two?
I'd say a combination of those two. Plus, I kind of screwed up I think it was my 3rd lap to go. Between all those 3 to combine, that was it.
Well, either way, I mean, a super dominant performance here tonight. It's tough to have a night like this and take home a 2nd place finish. I know it's still a solid points night either way, but next week we go to Michigan Speedway. Obviously, it's a little bit different than Nashville Super Speedway, but how do you feel about your chances on the 2-mile oval out in the Irish Hills next week?
I'd say pretty good. I'm usually all right at Michigan, but you never know how the races can play out.
Well, a lot of times it does come down to strategy. Again, Jaden, congratulations. An awesome run tonight. Just tough break not taking that checkered flag. Wish you the best of luck out at Michigan, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. I hope to see you there.
Jaden Hopp, your runner-up here from Michigan Speedway. And we don't have William Tyndall in the broadcast booth just yet. We'll see if we can get him up in here. I don't know if he's just busy or that sort of thing. We'll see if I can get him here. We got him. And we do. William Tyndall, driver of the number 62, takes it home in the 3rd place finishing position here today. William, you got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Congratulations, man. A solid run. Not only is it a top 3, but it looks like if there was a hard charger award, looks like it would be you. 12 positions, 12 cars for position passed. You started back in the 15th spot, brought it home top 3. You looked strong all race long, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I didn't get much practice. Wasn't really sure on qualifying. Once I got into the race, past the competition caution, I had a pretty good car on the long run. I couldn't compete with the top 2 guys, but I felt like I was a 3rd to 5th place car.
Yeah, I really don't think anybody had anything for Aaron Smith or Jaden Hopp here tonight. Both of those guys were lights out. But it is what it is. You'll take what you can get. Again, you passed a bunch of cars here tonight, finished in the top 3, so a solid run regardless. Next week, we're out at Michigan Speedway. How do you feel about your chances at a repeat with the top 3?
I like Michigan. I actually had to go from the back of the front, so I started 15th and got my way up to 7th, and then I had to stay on pit road and go take care of something on that competition caution, and then I had to go from back of the field back up there. Like I think I ended up driving through it twice.
Well, either way, an impressive run. We certainly watched some battles with you out there on the racetrack tonight, and you come home with a P3. It's almost like a win when you're racing against guys like Aaron Smith and Jaden Hopp, so well done.
Yeah, I just, maybe I'll get a green white checker attempt right behind one of their bumpers one of these weeks. It seems like what it's going to take.
Well, comes down to it. Even Tony Stewart, Rebecca's grandmother, win a race, so we'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd wreck my grandma, but I'll wreck the shit out of Aaron Smith.
All right, William. Well, congratulations on a 3rd place finish. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I'll just shout out Chris for putting this on. It's a good deal.
All right, William. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
All right, have a good one.
William Tyndall, your 3rd place finisher here at Nashville Super Speedway. Again, apologies for the language there. It's not too terrible. We try to keep it as PG as we can here for the kids. But nevertheless, those are your top 3. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3, Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, William Tyndall. 4th place finisher was Mike Cook. John Osborne was 5th. Jeff Noe, a 6th place finish. Brian McCann, not really in the mix at all tonight. He was up in the 3rd place for a little while and slipped back to P7. Started 12th, so even though he made his way forward, finished on the lead lap where most of the drivers did not. But to come out of here with a P7 finish to a track he's just not happy with, Brian McCann, solid run, P7. Tim Schofield was 8th. Josh Funkhauser was 9th. 10th place finisher Brandon Mefford. Trevor Quick was 11th. Rick Kelly finishes in the 12th spot. Doug Wysocki 13th. Chris Wally was 14th. 15th finisher was Stan Carnathan. Neil Quick finishes back in the 16th spot, 2 laps down. I don't know if Neil had a problem out on the racetrack. He seemed to have things gathered up there and in control. Ran up in the top 5 most of the night, but not a great finish for the driver, the number 2. Larry Bruner was 17th. Mike McDonald was 18th after that first lap crash. Josh Braley 19th. Jason Nilgis finishes in the 20th spot, 70 laps down. Again, involved in that first lap incident as well. Kind of called it a night here when he realized it just wasn't going to get any better. It's a tough break. But those are your race results here from race number 11, Nashville Super Speedway, the IROC Challenge Series. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Certainly all of you in the stream chat. I do appreciate it. Lindsay's my rock star out there for sure. She's always up here in the stream chat. Of course, we got Ken Couch tonight. We had Jerry Krause jumping in, as he always does as well. Even Zach Millett, that S4 guy, saying hello. We do appreciate it. It really does make my job easier. Kind of keeps me nice and loose and comfortable. It gives me things to talk about, honestly. It really does help. I do appreciate you guys being here for that. If you haven't already done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. YouTube.com/@symbol HBRTV in the number 1. Those likes are probably the most important thing you can do. Hit that like button. It gets this race video, this stream out into a wider audience, get some fresh eyeballs on some things, whether it's going to help us here at the channel or even the IROC Challenge Series as a league. It's a positive all the way around. So help us out with that. Just click the like button. It's free. Doesn't cost a nickel. Help us out. Also, HBRTV1.com, the website for the broadcast platform. We try to get the live link posted there every single race. We've got some channels in there for photo galleries for different races. We've got real racing photos. We've got even a logo channel in there for you iRacing painters. We've got some hard-to-find logos or some funny ones you just can't find out there. Let us know if you have any of those difficult to find or hard to make logos or even custom logos that you've done. Send them over to us. We'll put them up there. We don't charge you to have them there. Spread the wealth. Help the iRacing painter community out there. It's a plus for sure, so we certainly do appreciate that. That's going to wrap it up for us here at Nashville Super Speedway, the IROC Challenge Series. Congratulations to Aaron Smith on the race win, Jaden Hopp on a runner-up, and William Tyndall, 3rd place finish. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next week out in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Have a good night.